I started dance when I was 5 years old. I became obsessed very quickly. My dream was to be on the East High dance team. A lot of my dance teachers at the studio were on it, and I wanted to be just like them. Every year, the East High dance team would put on a spring clinic and show. During the day, kids would come and the dance team girls would teach them a routine. That night, there would be the show where the kids would perform the dance they learned and the dance team would perform all their routines from the year. Of course, I went every year. Every year, my dream of one day being on the dance team grew more and more. Then finally, there I was, freshman year. I made it on the team. It was as great as I had always imagined it would be. I loved everything about it, the dances, my coach, and my teammates. Spring show was still my favorite thing we did. It was always the last thing we did each year. Friends and family would come to see all the dances and even a few new ones just for the show, including a mom-daughter dance, a co-ed dance, and a light dance. The seniors would always do a dance at the end of the show with sentimental voiceover, and we would go out to eat every year to celebrate. When the spring show came around my junior year, it was definitely a bittersweet feeling. I had decided to not go out for the team again next year, so knew this night would be my last night ever dancing on the team I had dreamed about being a part of since I was 5 years old, and with some of my very best friends in the whole world. The whole day was going great. One of my best friends and I were captains, so we were not assigned kids to teach a dance to. Instead, we got to just mess around all day. Well, we had a few details to do, but we were supposed to be there in case some of the other girls needed us. Also, some of my family had come in from out of town to see my last spring show. I was a part of 7 dances in the show, all of which I loved. The first dance started and my adrenaline was pumping, as it always did when I performed. At one point in the dance, there was a small hiccup. It took me off guard and caused me to be a split second late for the next dance move, but I pulled myself together and the dance went great. The rest of the show went phenomenal. And I left the school that night feeling like I was on top of the world. I went home to change before we went out to eat, and I took off my tights. I remembered that hiccup I mentioned earlier. Next thing I knew, I was in the hospital with the doctor getting out her scalpel. That hiccup turned out to be a 3.5-inch splinter in my rear end, so deep that they had to cut it out. Let's just say I didn't make it to the annual dinner that night.